So many thanks, Maria Gracia and the rest of Meet team for the invitation. It's an honor to be part. Is working to be part of this conversation about the new Atlas of European Digital Art. The title of my talk is LABoral from digital world making to the pursuit of eco-digital commons. So the topic I want to bring to the conversation is how an institution like LABoral, which opened in 2007 in the midst of digital and techno optimism, with a strong focus on digital art, on at that time ICT, information and communication technologies. 15 years later, likewise, the institution is on a new phase, on a new track. Data centers, planetary scale computation consumes massive energy, mineral resources, while emitting massive carbon emissions. And today, one of our tasks as institutions, if this is also about repairing the future, as one of the speakers says before, to face climate change, is to find ways about how digital art can contribute to a more sustainable planet, to protect and nurture environmental commons. But of course, I'll go first through some brief history of digital art at LABoral. LABoral Art and Industrial Creation Center is located in Gijón, Asturias, northern Spain. It's physically part of the largest building in the country. We are a multidisciplinary institution. We are now hosting 16 artists in residence, local, regional, international. We have several laboratories. We are in 3 European Union consortium with some partners that they are here. And you cannot see in these dark aesthetic pictures, but we are also very close to Atlantic Forest Botanic Garden, which is one of the marvels of the city. So the center opened in 2007, and one of the first big international exhibitions was Lab Cyberspaces, Of course, very much influenced by the idea of cyberspace coming from William Gibson. So it was an open call with a jury comprised with Christian Paul, Alex Adrances, Gertrude Stoker. So many digital native projects were presented by Uber Borgen, by Pablo Ciro, Alessandro Ludovico, by Eric Berger, Aaron Kobling, and many more. And I think it was a time when we still think the internet was a way to change the world, So maybe it was the last days of cyber culture as a utopia, So now I'm taking the words of Italian philosopher Franco Berardi Bifo, who says like cyber culture was the last utopia, and we don't have a new one because right now we have fake news. So a celebrated trilogy on video games ignited the first years of LABoral, like Game World, Playscapes, and Homo Ludens exhibition. A myriad of artworks about the aesthetics of codes, of beats, like this one by Mariano Sardon, or this other by Karin Sanders in Datascape exhibition titled Source Code of Exhibition World, where basically she printed the XML SVG code of the wall at the entrance of LABoral. And maybe the climax of this digital art in massive art installation was Ryoji Ikeda Datamatics. This is a very well-known piece. I think we don't need to go through the video to keep more time for questions. But I think at that time, digital world making was meaningful. It was meaningful to train artists in software, mainly in free software running on Linux operative system. At that time, LABoral had a very strong program about free software training. So many workshops were conducted. Pure data, like this was a pure data workshop, also Arduino, processing, open frameworks. Even there was a workshop and exhibition about low-cost artistic DIY satellites. Or Blender open source 3D modeling software. And we opened the first Fab Lab in Asturias, so communities and many local artists learn how to use software tools for digital art. They learned how to code. Basically, they were digitally empowered. Like it was the case of Maria Castellanos. She's an artist, local artist from Gijón. She has a duo with Alberto Valverde. So she was attending some of those workshops, no? And she took advantage. And this is a picture of one project last year in LABoral. So this is about human-plant interaction. So they are using EEG technology and so on. They have this, that they are currently working on other intelligence. It's a prototype, like they are building hardware, coding software. And this is a research they are doing as a postdoc in University of Oslo. And also, imagination and fiction plays a role for contemporary LABoral. So we are commissioning an artwork to Rotor Studio. Ángeles Angulo, Roman Torre, they are an artistic duo based on Gijón, and their work is very much influenced by Ursula Le Guin. So these are just sketches and some pictures of previous work. So the exhibition is gonna entitle "The World is Forest" on science, art, and fantasy in 21st century Asturias. It's going to open on the 2nd of September, and we are doing it in collaboration with the biggest youth entertainment festival in the region called CometCon, that is also about cosplay, about anime, and so on. But these same artists, they are also involved in environmental and bike activism. They were the ones who started Massa Critica, like critical mass, in Gijón, and also they are working in citizen science. They are measuring air pollution. So this is the map of crowdsourced mad community sensors, so we are visualizing the data coming from several sensors in town. At that time, the weather conditions were more or less okay, but Gijón has heavy industry, all located in the west, so we have a serious problem with PM 2.5 and PM 10 particles. So LABoral is on the east, so this is our sensor on our window, and that green dot is LABoral on the bottom right. So, just to wrap up, to finish, if more sustainable infrastructures and ways of life are needed, and digital art and digital storytelling can play a role in the pursuit of eco-digital commons for a carbon-neutral world, so both digital art as a medium and as a content, both as technology and meaning. So again, the relation between the digital and the environmental commons it was also part of this multi-species city workshop. That was one of the actions of our festival, our side event for the Festival for the New European Bauhaus that we hosted in LABoral just 2 weeks ago. So 15 kids with a team of biologists, artists, and architects. In 5 hours, they were trained how to design, build houses for insects and small birds. So since we are facing 6 massive extinctions, we need cross-pollination. It's crucial for our public health, so we think this action was meaningful. So gracias por la atención. I'm looking forward to engage in a conversation and to welcome all of you in LABoral in the following months or years. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Pablo.